Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Yesterday, Thursday, May 16th, 2024, there was a massive windstorm in the Houston area. It went on for 250 miles. In downtown Houston, a lot of property was destroyed. Light poles were blown over. And today, May 17th, the story is that the windstorm was classified as a derecho. And of course, we just heard this term for the first time back in 2020 when a derecho went through the middle of the country and destroyed a lot of corn. Iowa was hit the hardest. And we're going to go back and revisit what we talked about then because it's the same pattern we're going to talk about now. Let me zoom in on this story. Can you see that it says this 250-mile path of wind destruction? It says that wind gusts were at least 58 miles per hour. And this is the same number we talked about in 2020 with what happened in Iowa. Derecho in Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice decoding numbers into words, equals 58. And the derecho that hit Iowa in 2020 was on August 10th, a date with 58 numerology, 8 plus 10 plus 20 plus 20. And it took out a huge amount of corn in that region of the country. They said 43% of corn was destroyed because of that derecho, or land hurricane, they also called it. If you're new here, Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. And today it was reclassified as a derecho, May 17th. What's funny about that is today is 131 days before the anniversary of JFK's weather control speech, which he gave September 25th, 1961 to the United Nations. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, derecho equates to 131. Again, just the other year, if you've never seen JFK's weather control speech from 61, look it up. After he died, Lyndon Johnson gave a speech at Jesuit Holy Cross about who controls the weather, controls the world. Again, these things are back in the 60s. It's over 60 years later. But recall, Public Enemy put out that album, What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down, in 2020 on the anniversary of JFK's weather control speech. And that's one of the worst things that's happened from the storm, in addition to the property destruction, is a lot of people have lost power, massive power outages all throughout the region as it's getting hot. And we just talked about this recently, about how they can use the weather to take down the grid, something we've been talking about for a long time. And they could do it as it starts to get hot. And Houston's this city they keep terrorizing. If you weren't here at the time, we used this album and another piece of information to accurately forecast crazy weather for Valentine's Day 2021 and to expect power outages. And remember, Atlanta lost power, Houston lost power for over a week, as did my home city, Portland, Oregon, that Clyde Drexler connection. Even Damian Lillard's birthday, Damian Lillard, who was playing in Portland at the time, his brother's name is Houston. But anyway, that's Arizona on the cover of that album, and Arizona's the Valentine's Day state. Just like Oregon's the Valentine's Day state, too. And Portland lost power for a long time, both established on Valentine's Day. But yeah, it's just the same patterns. It's the same thing over and over. We keep looking at the weather warfare in light of, this historical date, JFK's weather control speech. And, I mean, again, what are the odds they got to report at least 58 mile per hour winds in light of what we were talking about in 2020? So, all right, we'll keep this one short and sweet. Actually, for one more point, you see how they said several well-separated wind gusts of 75 miles per hour or greater? Remember what just happened in Dubai with the crazy flooding, the worst of its kind in 75 years of recording? If you missed that video, go back and check that out, the Dubai flooding recently, the United Arab Emirates. Again, these things are not Mother Nature. The military's been working on weather control for a long time, and it started well before JFK even gave that speech. Never forget, the first act of weather warfare admitted to was August 15th, 1952, the Lynmouth flood that killed 30-some people, admitted to on the Jesuit order's birthday. Just like how Lyndon Johnson gave a speech at Jesuit Holy Cross, Jesuit school, about who controls the weather, controls the world. And imagine if psychopaths controlled the military and knew that every time they destroy something with this weapon, a central bank will have to get a loan from them. They'll make money. Imagine if they can clear out real estate for their buddies. Just imagine all that could be done with this weather control system if it was in the wrong hands. And that's the wake-up call, because this government's been controlled by, it's been wolves guarding the henhouse for a long time in this country and elsewhere. My favorite person to ever run for U.S. president, Ralph Nader, would always explain that. The wolves guard the henhouse in America. And this is what it looks like, you guys. People need to wake up. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. And until next time.